my people. So Jake Paul is going to make his return to the ring, and he's going to do it versus none other than Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. We got to talk about that. We got to address it. By the way, that's what being reported by Mike Coppinger in Ring Magazine. He's saying that Jake is going to make his return this summer versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. You know? What can I tell you, my people? Like, is this what we're going to get from Jake Paul forever? For his entire career, he's just always going to do this? The strategic cherry picking to make people believe that he's fighting, real competition and real boxers. Bro, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. had been inactive since 2021. He came back in 2024 versus a guy with one fight, with one professional fight. That's what Jake Paul's gonna fight next. By the way, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is 39 years old. Dude is about to be 40. Can you hear me better now, my brother? Let me know if you can hear me better. And I appreciate you letting me know. Let me know if you can hear me better. I could go grab a microphone real quick. But what's up with Jake Paul, man, and these strategic cherry picks? Like, I keep asking. Audio's still off. Let me know. I'm gonna have to change to another device. Let me know if you can hear me now. Let me grab a microphone. Let me grab a microphone. That's how we can hear it. Hold on, my people, because we gotta talk about this whole situation. Hold on. Let me get a mic. Grab me a microphone and make it happen. I got a microphone now. Good deal, my people. Grab a microphone. Let me know if y'all can hear me now. Hope y'all can hear me now, my peoples. So, nah, man, listen. I'm talking about the whole situation with Jake Paul, and it's like, is this gonna be forever? Are we always gonna get these type of fights from Jake Paul? Is there gonna be a time when appreciate it, Jay Will? Uh, is there ever gonna be a time where we actually get Jake Paul facing an opponent who's around his age group, around his size, where you're like, okay, this is a fair fight. Let's see how it's gonna play out. I mean, we got him versus Tommy Fury, and he got his ass kicked. But you know, what? How is it going to develop? How are we like? Honestly, man, I'm personally tired of it. I really am tired of seeing Jake Paul facing guys that he's gonna try to get on camera and say, "Look, I'm fighting a real boxer now." It's like, bro, Julio Cesar Chavez is about to be 40 years old. 40 years old. Dude has been inactive. It's like, please. Come on now. Come on now. VF Arc, you money for my please. Okay, you already sound like somebody who's gonna waste my time, so just get the fuck out of here. You go for yourself. We don't need you over here. Wasting my time. Goofball this early in the morning. LLYY. Salute, my brother. J. Will. Did Chavez lose
to Anderson Silva, the old ex UFC fighter. Yeah, he lost to Anderson Silva, and Silva was like 1-1, one win, one loss when he fought him. It's like, come on, man. Listen, Julio Cesar Chavez has spent more time getting in trouble with the law and doing drugs that he spent at a gym. That's widely known. This guy, he's out of hand already. And that's what Jake Paul is pulling out of a goddamn rehab facility to fight him in his next fight. Like, come on, bro. Still doing that shit? LOYY, starting to stream earlier. It's not a pattern, my brother. You never know. I just hop on. Not a pattern, not a schedule. But again, my peoples, it's like, is this what we're always going to get? Is this what we can always expect to get from Jake Paul? Because it's like, I was just praising him for women's boxing. You know, I like what he's doing for women's boxing. Although, I told somebody before, I know that what he's doing for women's boxing, he's not really doing it for the women. He's doing it for himself. He's doing it so he could say, look, I'm the guy that's putting the women up front. And women's boxing are able to allow Jake Paul to be legitimate in boxing. Because his own boxing career is a circus show. His own boxing career is a joke. It's like a troll on boxing fans, his boxing career. But what he's doing for women's boxing is legitimate. You know, he signed world championship caliber women, reigning champions. He's making big fights. He's getting them big career paydays. So even though I know he's doing that for himself to raise his own profile, you know, I give him shout out. I give him his credit for setting up a big stage for the women to shine. I appreciate that. Even though he only doing it for himself. But what he's doing for women's boxing is legit. What he's doing for his own career is like, yo, bro, you're a circus show. A legit circus show. And you know, I think what makes Jake Paul such a circus show is the fact that he's trying to get in the ring with Canelo, with Tank Davis. Like, he's trying to get in there with world champions. When look who you fighting, bro. Look at the type of people that you fighting. You pulled Mike Tyson out of retirement at nearly 60 years old. You pulling Julio Cesar Chavez out of a rehab facility, fuck around, at damn near 40 years old. So it's like, is this gonna be a forever thing for Jake Paul? LOYY, Jake will not fight Julio. There is no reason. It's not gonna sell. Jake only want money. He looking for AJ or Canelo. I mean, you know, I feel like he's trolling when he brings up AJ and Canelo, simply because there's just no way that he could, you know, believe that he could beat one of those guys when he got beat up by Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury isn't ranked in any other sanctioning bodies. He's like a part-time boxer. And he put hands on Jake Paul. So does he really believe that he's going to beat a championship caliber type of fighter? That's insane, bro. Stabby, why are you talking about bum fights and Disney kids? Well, my brother, I don't know if did you go to Mike Coppinger and the Ring Magazine to say that too? Because that's what they're talking about. So, you know. Or you're only doing this in this YouTube channel because you figure, this guy's not a big deal. Let me go say that shit over there. It's like, listen, whether you like it or not, whether I like it or not, Jake Paul is a player in the game of boxing. His MVP promotion now is probably the biggest promotional company for women's boxing. The guy signed world champions. Amanda Serrano's with Jake Paul. Alicia Baumgartner now signed with Jake Paul. He has world championship caliber women on there, reigning champions. It's just that he's a bum. I agree with you, he's a bum. But he's a player in the game. And at the end of the day, we might actually see him fighting, you know, with a big name eventually. We might actually end up getting him versus Anthony Joshua or versus Canelo or some shit like that. Ben Whitaker, You don't like to see this weekend? Ben Whitaker is a fight that I want to see. I do want to see that fight. I do want to see how it plays out. Shamir, hola, soy Shair. Saludos, Shair. Bam. ¿Me conoces? No sé, mi amor. Yo lo que estoy viendo un nombre ahí. Stabby, Kovalev retirement fight this weekend. Oh my God! Like, you see, I don't like it when I see fighters that are that old stepping in the ring. I hope that Kovalev is gonna be one of these guys who he's gonna fight an easy opponent to walk away with a win. I hope he's not gonna get in there with tough competition and take a beating at his age. Te dije de qué país sos. Pero es que recuerda, mi hija, mucha gente entran aquí, miles de gente, y me dicen de qué país son. Entonces, ¿cómo yo voy a saber? Um, but again, my peoples, the whole situation with Jake Paul fighting Julio Cesar Chavez, I'm honestly disappointed. It's like, when are we finally gonna see him fight somebody? When will Jake Paul fight an opponent that's, like I said, within his age group, an opponent who, people feel like, okay, this is him trying to step up his profile, fight better opponents, fight better competition. It's like he's stuck in the same place of pulling people out of retirement or bringing people out of different sports. Or it's like, come on, bro, we want to see, you know, Jake Paul's been progressing. He's been training. He's already been training in boxing for what, 5 years at this point, maybe more. It's time to fight somebody, bro. I know. I don't know if he's just scared to take another L because he lost to Tommy Fury. I don't know if it's because of that he don't want to fight more competition. But goddamn, man, Julio Cesar Chavez, 40-year-old Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Come on, bro. The Mexican G, damn. They couldn't have picked the worst representation of boxers. Chavez is notorious for having no discipline and being a quitter. That's the thing, my brother, that Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., if you look at the last few years of his life, the guy's been getting arrested, getting caught with drugs, getting drunk, partying. It's like this guy doesn't even live the style of a boxer. He don't live the lifestyle of a fighter. He don't live like an athlete. And and like I said before, bro, I understand the strategic cherry picking from Jake Paul because this is one of those where he's gonna say, "Oh, look, I'm fighting a real fighter." For my haters who say it, I'm fighting a real boxer. But look who. A guy who's about to be 40 years old, who had been inactive since 2021, who came back in 2024 versus an opponent with a grand total of one professional fight. That that's who you're fighting. Like Julio Cesar Chavez shouldn't even be fighting anymore. You should just be retired. Find some shit, something else to do. Noble Young, salute my brother. Uh So let's see how this whole thing plays out. Like Jake Paul is, like I said, man. He's doing his thing for women's boxing. He's making it happen. But his own boxing career is crazy, like what he's been doing. John Parry, you don't think he has a chance if he trains for a minute? You mean a chance to beat Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., John Parham? Because I tell you what, Jake Paul, I see him pummeling Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. I see him pummeling him. And the reason I say that is because, Chavez Jr., man, he's a joke. Unfortunately, his personal life is a train wreck. This guy's on drugs. This guy's an alcoholic. This guy's just living the party life. I don't see him. He gonna get pummeled out there, and Jake Paul's gonna be able to say, "Look, I beat a world champion." Come on, man. The Mexican G, exactly. He's gonna say a real boxer, but in reality, Chavez Jr. is a washed drug addict. That's what I'm saying, man. I know they're gonna, I don't know if they pulled his ass out of a rehab to make him fight this fight. They're gonna clean him up a little bit. They're gonna give him a shower and make him look nice and be like, "Look, I'm fighting a world champion." When those who know Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is done, a washed up drug addict. Come on now, that's what you're gonna fight. John Parham, true. So basically, he probably low key broke and need the money. Oh nah, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. been broke. He been broke. I think at this point he living off of his pops, the Mexican G. Like I said, it wasn't for his dad. Chavez Jr. would be on the streets if it wasn't for his dad. See what I'm saying? Kunga deck. The PB is that he's gonna make the money again. I mean, it is about the money. Boxing is a business. We all agree with that. But still, if you been following Jake Paul long enough, then you know that it's almost like he's stuck in that same stage. Right, or what's the deal, my brother? It's like Jake Paul is almost stuck in that same stage where he keep feeding people the same stories. Like, oh look, I'm fighting champions and I'm fighting these type of fighters. I'm early in my career, but bro, how long are you gonna be early in your career? You already been training in boxing for like what, 5 years already, 6 years, and you still fighting, this type of opponent. Like, you got to think about it. Jake, last fight was he pulled Mike Tyson out of retirement at nearly 60 years old. This guy, Julio Cesar Chavez, he would be retired if people wouldn't be offering him opportunities to fight. He would be retired. Like, you should be done already. You should be completely out of boxing by now. 39 years old, about to be 40, has been inactive, on drugs, an alcoholic. Come on, bro. He's done. Julio Cesar Chavez is cooked. John Parham, I'd rather see Ward fight Paul. I would love to see Ward fight Paul, but that's not going to happen. Paul is not going to fight anybody who he believes, damn, this guy's still in good shape and might whoop me. He's not going to fight somebody like that. I see no possibility of Jake Paul fighting Andre Ward. Unless it's like maybe 5, 6 years down the line when Ward is now close to 50 or 50 years old and he can say, okay, let me fight you now. But not anytime soon. Since Jake Paul is a lot younger than Ward, he could actually age him out and catch him at 50 years old and shit. Saludo. So that's my whole thing, When it comes to Jake Paul, it's like I feel like he's just trolling all of us. We're all being trolled by Jake Paul. The Mexican G. Since Jake likes fighting retired fighters, why not Andre Ward? Because the thing about Andre Ward is that he retired young. And because he retired young, even right now, he's not that old. Not only he's not that old, but he's in great shape. But because he is older than Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., but he's in great shape. He's not a junkie. He's not an alcoholic. He's not partying all the time. So Andre Ward has the physical shape to put the baits on Jake Paul. He still has his abilities. I think Andre Ward could beat a bunch of pro boxers right now, as a matter of fact. John Parham, I think he's 41, you see? At 41 years old, Andre Ward will put the baits on Jake Paul. But I don't see no chance of Jake Paul even entertaining that fight. Because I believe deep down inside, Jake Paul knows that he's a C-level fighter. He knows he's a C-level fighter. And I think that sometimes Jake Paul gets like delusional, like he starts believing his own bullshit, like he could beat these champions and all that. But I think he got humbled down when he got beat by Tommy Fury. Because you got to understand, Tommy Fury, he isn't ranked in any other sanctioning body. Nobody believes Tommy Fury is even remotely a good fighter like that. He's like a part-time boxer. So I say, look, when he got beat by Tommy Fury, that was a wake up call. Like, damn, this guy beat me. Can I really beat world champions? I don't know. I think Jake Paul is having a hard time accepting that he is not and will never be an elite level fighter. And the way that he tries to create that image is by fighting retired people, by fighting people who he's always going to have the physical advantage against them. The Mexican G, get Tim Bradley. He says he's willing to come out of retirement to whoop on Jake. Now, Tim Bradley's too small. I don't think Tim Bradley should fight Jake Paul. That's a mismatch size-wise. And I tell you what, listen. Here's the thing about Jake Paul that we have to understand. He's learned how to box. He just isn't a talented boxer. He isn't an elite level boxer, but he knows how to box. Don't get it twisted, right? He knows how to box. So when you take a guy who knows how to box and you give him a lot of physical advantages over his opponents, then he has a good chance of beating them. He's a lot bigger than Tim Bradley. He actually would have a chance of beating him. The Mexican G, Jake Paul, is a smart dude. I'll give him that. He made lots of money. That's real. That's real. Business-wise, Jake Paul has done great for himself. Kunga deck. Everybody want that Jake paycheck. You seen it. A lot of people want to make that paycheck because even folks who laughed at him then afterwards came out and said, oh, I'll fight him. We'll make it happen. Even Canelo is softening up on the idea of fighting Jake Paul because the last time I seen him talking about it, he was like, now is not the time. Now is not the time. So Canelo focused on trying to make, his last few big fights, try to make history versus Crawford and all that stuff. And I think when Canelo retires, which I don't think is going to take too much longer for him to do that, he might actually fight Jake Paul. He might actually fight him. We may see it. The same thing with AJ. AJ already showed that he's open to the idea of fighting Jake Paul. He posted about it. Or he said something about it. I can't remember. But I know he says something around the lines of, let's make it happen in 2026. I think he tweeted about it, about fighting Jake Paul. The Mexican, I think Canelo will retire in 2026. That's a possibility. I know that Canelo is very close to retirement. So once he announces retirement, I do believe that he'll probably end up fighting Jake Paul based on his own words. Because if he went from saying he would never fight Jake Paul to saying, well, now is not the time, but we'll see. So I think Canelo understands the type of payday that's going to represent, the type of event that it will be, how big it's going to be for himself. And it might end up happening. John Pound, Canelo definitely out in 2026, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know the year. I don't want to say myself 2026, but I'm pretty sure he's close. I'm pretty sure he's right there. The Mexican G. He's slowing down. I think even he realized the end is near. Yeah. I mean, you got to understand, fighters who are in their mid-30s and have made a lot of money, millions of dollars like Canelo has, they're usually right there close to retirement. Fighters who stick around longer, usually there's a money issue. They need the money. They need to fight a few more fights to set themselves up. But, Canelo's been extremely successful, has a lot of money, wealthy, very, very wealthy. So I think he is going to call it a day pretty soon. I'm not saying 2026, but it could be in 2026. It could be. Let's see. I mean, you never know. He could even beat Crawford. If he loses to Crawford, he's not going to retire on a loss. I don't see it. But if he beats Crawford, which he won't, but this is a hypothetical. If he beats Crawford, I could even see him retiring right there. Like, okay, I beat an undisputed champion. I'm done. I'm out of here. That could happen too. The Mexican G, you think Benavidez is going to be the next Mexican star when Canelo leaves? Could be. It could. Benavidez could be the guy to take over the reins. You got to understand, though. Bam Rodriguez is a guy who could be a huge star. The only thing is that Bam, he, for whatever reason, man, he just doesn't like the attention. Bam is like, I'm going to compare Bam to a basketball player. Bam is kind of like Tim Duncan. He's the guy who goes to work, does extremely good at work, but then after work is done, he just go home and that's it. Don't want to be in front of the cameras, don't want to be in the red carpet, don't want to be in the interviews. Just go home and go back to training. But, yo, the Mexican monster, he already has the star power. He's the guy who damn near known for being ducked by Canelo. So, I think he's going to be a big force going forward. The Mexican, do you think he will retire if they have a draw? I don't think Canelo retires on a draw. I don't think so. Unless his body doesn't feel good, like he like, damn, yo, I can't keep doing this. I'm gonna get beat. I can't. If his body doesn't feel good, he could retire. But if he can fight, if he can perform, and if he loses, he definitely won't retire. Canelo will not retire on a loss, for sure. The Mexican G, yeah, I noticed that. Bam Rodriguez doesn't like the spotlight. He also mentioned he wants to retire in his 30s. Look, man, Bam Rodriguez, if you look at his accomplishments, he's supposed to be a way bigger star than he actually is. Bam should be a huge star, but he isn't. Why? Because he's not in front of the camera. Yo, he deactivated his Instagram probably like 2 years ago. I used to follow him. So, when you're trying to have your star power go up and become more popular, you're supposed to be on social media. You're supposed to be interacting with the fans. There's a lot of little things that Bam is not doing for whatever reason. There's people like that. There's people who don't like to be in front of the camera, who don't like to be interviewed, who only do it when they must. And Bam is one of those guys. When he's, getting ready for a fight, when they're doing the press conferences, he's there. He'll answer the questions, all that stuff. But if you look at Bam, he's a guy that when he's not, actively getting ready for a fight, you don't even hear from him. You don't see him anywhere. It's almost like he go hide somewhere. The Mexican G. Bam reminds me of Frankie Gomez. Lots of potential, but no passion for the art of boxing. I mean, maybe he has that passion, but he just doesn't like the attention. Because obviously, he's fighting champions. He's accomplishing. He's young. To consider all the things that he's doing, he should be a lot bigger than what he is. Definitely. My peoples, I'm going to end this live. I just wanted to come through, holla at y'all early in the morning. Happy Easter to everybody, by the way. And just the whole situation with Jake Paul, man. Like, come on, man. We tired of it already. The Dominator. Hello, sir. Off the bat, I'm a fat troll with no life and looking for permission to troll your stream for a few moments. I promise you not to keep you long. You already kept me too long with that long-ass paragraph, man. And I don't really got time for trolls right now. Go troll another stream. I'm kicking you the hell out of here. But yeah, my peoples, I'm about to get the hell out of here. I want to give a shout out to everybody. Thanks for the live, bro, from Paris. Shout out to Chuk Adek from Paris. Appreciate you, my guy. Everybody who came through. John Parham, the Mexican G, LLYY, and everybody else. I appreciate you, my guys. Y'all already know what it is. We're going to be doing the Ben Whitaker fight tomorrow. We're going to be talking boxing. A new video is already up to talk about the whole Jake Paul situation. Check out that video. And y'all already know, my peoples. I'm Jay Smith. This is Box Center, your favorite boxers' favorite boxing show. Peace and salute to everybody, man. I'm out of here. I need to have breakfast. I'm hungry.